Welcome to everyone in attendance today and those watching, whether you're on the ACC network, Cuse.com, or on other platforms. We appreciate your passion and your interest in Syracuse football. First, I want to welcome Coach Fran and Teara and Fran Jr. and Braden and Ivy to Syracuse University in Central New York. We had a very strong list of candidates, but Coach Brown emerged as the right person at this time to lead our football program.
O-line, I liked how we practiced yesterday. How y'all like that tempo? Make sure we bring that to the game.
I spoke to a number of people about Coach Fran. They all said that Coach Fran is a great communicator. He's authentic, builds meaningful relationships with his players, and develops his players.
Listen, y'all see we about to do this today, and y'all see it's a different attraction around here, right? Guys that are from here understand and see it.
He's a dynamic recruiter with strong ties to the Northeast, the DMV region, and other areas of the country.
So we live right here, 1160 Thurman. It's crazy how small that window is. When I was younger, I thought it was so big.
He's a tireless worker, and he spent the last 15 years preparing for today.
Everybody right here. Here's the camera. Get the camera right here.
Y'all know winners, right?
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, y'all done played here together for different times.
Yeah.
That's my whole goal, to make sure we bring it all back.
That's why we're here, because the change is here, and we're going to be here to support the change.
And you know where the change comes from?
Yeah.
Us having that faith.
That's right.
That faith,
we
you know what I'm
believe.
saying? Yeah, without a doubt. I'm about to go get these kids so I can stay here. There's a lot of recruits down there. Hey, yo, let's recruit, y'all. We need to recruit. Let's recruit.
You have a reputation as a great recruiter. What is it about having that knack to connect with people? Is it a natural thing with you? Was it something you worked at? I'm just curious, because the great recruiters just seem to have it when they walk in the room. What is it?
I don't know. I'm happy you said that. I got it. That's from your mouth, not mine. But it's really just like my upbringing, my subculture where I'm from, born and raised in Camden, New Jersey. And, you just see different things. You see a lot. So this is the Salvation Army. This is where everybody went out and played. This is where we played basketball at. In the back, it was courts and all like that. And you try to fit in. You got to fit in different ways. Like at one point, lived in several different parts of the city. You grew up where I grew up at. You might live out Pollock. You may live out Centerville, out Parkside, downtown, East Camden. This is Pollock. That's where everybody played at and done different things. And you had to adapt different, because everybody acts different in all different places. So this Hatton Avenue, this is where I grew up first playing at and doing everything at. So that's where we used to play at in the graveyard. I always tell everybody I used to play at.
You played in the graveyard?
Oh yeah, all the time. We played football over there and everything. But I live right here at 928 Hatton Avenue. That was the first place that I got to live in and I knew about. This was it. And this all right here where we was at, that was our Parkside. Now we about to go to this other side. It's called downtown. This is where my mom and them actually grew up at, where my dad's family grew up at. Downtown youngins was getting locked up earlier than kids in all the other spots, so a lot of them, they kind of ain't really even make it to high school.
One has to be tough to be able to survive in an environment like that. And when you mention all those different neighborhoods that he had exposure with, that becomes part of the total package.
Now we about to be out Centerville, and I'm gonna show you where I play ball at. This is Centerville Symbols. This is where I first ever started playing football at. I remember my first year coming out, and Jimmy was like a year older than us. He was always better than everybody, playing. So if you got a chance to be able to hit with Jimmy and you showed you could hit with him, then you was tough. And then one day I went and hit with Jim, and I dented his visor. I was so happy. That's like the highlight of my whole football career. I got to dent Jim's visor one day, and we had fun. We always be talking about that, though, but I still talk to my Little League coach. Like Coach Drip, Ira, Coach Roland, all them dudes just taught us how to fight. I mean, you know what I'm saying, physical, win, keep pushing, work.
We're a close-knit group where you have generations, grandmothers, fathers, sons, who grew up in areas that have a good kinship. The love that they had for community, the love that they had for wanting the younger generation to be better. It's a beautiful thing, man.
We moved a lot. Moving was usually cool because I bet you was going to a new house. I didn't know we was moving because we wasn't paying rent and stuff like that. You know, they kept a lot of those things from me. So I had no understanding of why we were moving. And some of the time we were moving because of it was rat infested down there at 426. It was literally rat. I remember being in the house with no lights because our electric and shit was cut off. And I had to wrap up in the covers. You felt like a rat run across your body. I'm thankful and happy to be from here. I like to bring my sons and show them so they understand how fortunate they are, but then in the same sense, it just motivates you, I gotta go back, gotta go to work.
The thing about people from Camden, we got a burning fire in us. I love the fact that I'm from Camden, because I can take on anything. And I think the biggest thing for Fran is that he did have a chance to grow up in a lot of different cities, so he's accepted everywhere he goes.
What's up, y'all?
How you feeling?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you, man.
You too. What's up, y'all? What's up with
now?
you? Yeah.
I was watching your interview yesterday.
Yeah?
On my life, on my daughter.
That's what's up. Y'all gonna come up and check us out, right?
Yeah.
He's one of ours. He wears Camden on his chest. He's always had Camden in the forefront of his mind. What can he do to help make our community better?
Camden is Francis. He's very passionate about his city. And I think he learned at a young age, probably from moving around, how to build relationships with people.
Bet, y'all be safe, y'all. Bet. What's good? You know why all these people act like that? Because I'm Braden's dad. What you think? Why? Because it's something different? Yeah. I think it's because I'm your pops.
This is Francis' mom and his brothers. Miss Marla was a tough woman.
My mom was tough. She was real tough and she worked really, really hard. Would always minimize how much she can get from the government to help because she actually needed it, but she didn't want it. She used to hate that we had to have a family first card. She used to hate that. She had to do that because she always had a job. She would always try to work, but there was only so much that, those jobs would be able to get, But she always wanted to help people. I even at certain points, we have two of my mom's brothers living with us and their families. So 2908, this is the first place that my mom got a chance to actually buy a house. And it kind of was like a big step for her. It meant a lot to us. It was pretty cool for her to be able to do that. Watching her buy her own home, that was the first property she was able to get and buy it. Being able to do those little things were big. Yo, I don't even know how we played in this. We would play a full 2-on-2 right here and be hitting. Yeah, that was the one rule with all of us, you can't be soft.
Yeah, where we played that, you had to hit to get your equipment.
When you go out there, just to get equipment, you had to hit.
That was the funnest part of football to me, to just know I could just run at somebody full speed and just hit them as hard as I can.
We would run real routes, 5 across the middle, posts. How the hell we do that right there? That joint was funny. Before me, there was football. Before me, there was Syracuse football. Before me, there was Camden High football, basketball. And after me, obviously, it's still going to go on. So I want to make sure that when I leave, was it a little bit better? Our football program here was better than it was when I got here. Everywhere I went, just throughout my entire career as a player and as a coach. Everywhere I went, it's gotten better. I give it my all.
I remember we was in the auditorium one day. Guy was caddy corner. He was in this corner. I remember him throwing the football. Remember?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen a football go that fast. Live.
She met him at a concert, and he wanted to go out on a date with her. He was very respectable. He first called, and he is like, Miss Henry, I would like to date your daughter, and I'd like to, take her out. And he was so nice. He was like, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And I finally said that he could go out with her. And they went out, and that's what started it. And when they're not together, they're sick.
This was our first time apart. Francis was at junior college at Hudson Valley, and he had earned a full scholarship to Western Carolina University. And so he asked me if I wanted to come with him, and I had just almost completed a year of schooling, and I said, yeah, I'll come with you. So We went to Western. We had our own apartment, and we had a little oopsies. We got pregnant with Fran Jr.
We found out she was pregnant. It was before we were about to go play a game. So we find out, and then I leave to go to the game. So I'm like, dang, that's all I'm thinking about.
They both called me, and they're like, Mom, we got something to tell you. They were sounding scared. And she was like, what are we gonna do? And I said, it's gonna work out. It's gonna be okay.
Having Fran Jr. was like, okay, he didn't ask to be in this world, so you need to do everything you can to make sure that this kid sees success and understands success, so that way he could take it to a higher level.
Till this day, like we tell everyone, he's the one that got us to where we are today. He was our biggest motivator and still is.
Because of him, I knew I was just gotta work, get my degree. You stay focused, play ball, we'll make it into the NFL. Being able to help take care of her and my child, and while she's still doing her thing.
He was on his grind and I was working as a nurse, and we didn't know what the end goal was, but we knew it was something better than what we had at the time.
Fran Brown always just wanted to keep going and going. Whatever he was doing, he always wanted to go to the next level. So whatever he's going to do, he's going to push it to the limit.
Go score, get outside, catch it and go.
Getting into coaching for him, it was a lot.
Go.
Fran worked his way up through the coaching ranks, right? And you started the entry level, the lowest level there is. And you just work and you grind and you grind and you work and you work.
But you can't be just making something and then don't come back and give it to the community, because it's not right. We need help. When you're able to do that for your city, you gotta do it. Even if it's from this type of city, you have to do it, man. Nobody else is gonna do it.
Breaking news. An altercation in the first half of a New Jersey boys basketball game between rivals Camden and Camden Eastside resulted not just in the remainder of the playoff game being canceled, but by rule, both teams have been eliminated from this season's state tournament.
I thought the situation could have escalated because I understood it a little bit different than other people. The calls that I got from the people that called me, I was like, okay, I'll hit them up. I was able to hit both schools, you know what I'm saying, and talk to both schools and then get those kids together and talk to them together and make sure they knew, hey, it's done.
Fran was the city's quarterback, okay? So he was the one guy that got along with everybody, been in every part of the city. So he was the guy that can come and calm things down. People listen to him, people respect him.
Man, just talking to them all about consequences. Every decision you make, there's gonna be a consequence. You guys are getting above that age now, you know? So just me talking to them about that and just letting them know that's not how we're gonna represent this city. That's not what I did as a football player. That's not what other dudes do. So you're gonna do this the right way or you're not gonna play here.
It wasn't a good moment for our city, but I think our kids learned from it because of people like Franny coming back in to talk and having him come back where he was at. He was at Georgia at the time. I think he may be on the heels of the national championship at the time. And for him to just come back and be able to speak to the teams, the players, the coaches, he played his part.
He was on the list, but he was not at the top of the list. And the more research I did on the candidates and the more research I did on Fran and talked to people who I really respect, my interest grew. And I'm like, this is somebody, I gotta reach out to him. I gotta connect with him. And literally, the day I was gonna call him, all of a sudden my phone rings. And I didn't recognize the number, so it went to voicemail, played voicemail. It was Fran. I called him back. We talked for about a half an hour, the first conversation. And we talked Thanksgiving night for we were scheduled for half an hour, it almost went 2 hours. And just the more that we spoke, his vision, comprehensive vision, just not the football side, but his comprehensive vision for the program really matched what we thought our needs were.
I could see that he was different. I could see that he could be the person that we would bring here to lead our young people.
So we were on the plane ride up from Georgia to Syracuse, and I don't know, it was more quiet than I thought it would be, and Francis is just so quiet, and I was just wondering, I'm like, Francis, like, what's going on? Like, are you nervous? Like, you know what? And he's like, He's like, T, I'm just writing, you know, I'm trying to write this speech down, like what I'm gonna say. And I just was like, well, what are you writing? Like, do you know the questions they're gonna ask you? And he's like, no. And I'm like, just be yourself. Like, stop writing, put it away, just be yourself. I said, that's why they're hiring you, because of who you are. I said, you can only be yourself, and that's gonna be good enough. And, you know, at that moment, I think he realized, like, he just needed to be himself. And, you know, he stopped writing after that, and then he was playing with Ivy. And it just, like, loosened up the whole moment of us arriving.
Our process was exhaustive and very, very thorough, but it turned out to be time well spent. Coach Fran's character and values are a perfect match for our university and for our community. A new era of Syracuse football begins today. Please join me in welcoming head coach Fran Brown.
He held up the jersey, like, it was like, wow, like, this is real.
Like, I just held up a jersey with Jim Brown's number on it. I'm from Camden, New Jersey, guys.
That moment right there was for him, the Brown family, but it was for Camden. You know, Camden felt it. It was like we made it.
First off, you know, as everyone to get up and say, and I truly mean this, I want to thank God, man. I think we all should, because we all here today. We all got a chance to wake up, and just thank God for giving me the opportunity to be up, be here. I want to thank my beautiful wife, my sons, just my family. Looking at her, she might make me cry, so I ain't looking over there no more.
I was crying. Why? I was crying because it happened the way he said it would happen and the way he wanted it to happen. And then knowing where he's come from, where we've come from, then it was just like I was living everything in that moment.
As I go through this, guys, I'm gonna be a little different than everybody else was, because I'm gonna kind of speak from my heart. Try to put a little speech together, but that thing usually never works for me. You know, I always speak from my heart and it just comes out real. Herm, just being from where I'm from. I'm from Camden, New Jersey, Herm's from Philly. So just knowing someone that was right there, being that close and being able to do that, and him telling me how he felt this was home, and understanding and knowing what it's like growing up in Germantown and North Philly and being in those spots, and me being in Camden, I said, wow, if he can make it home, then I know I could come and make it home. But what I knew that I wasn't gonna do, because I got an uncle named Charles Brown, he told me, don't ever, ever, ever allow your situations to dictate your outcome. You make the best of them, you dominate, you get up and you walk every single day with the next foot forward. But this isn't about me, this isn't about all that. This is about bringing the tradition of the great football that was here before me, and before I got here, I gotta go back to that era. Hey y'all, you practice really, really hard to get an opportunity to go out here and play football in front of a lot of people. When things get bad, I'm always talking to you guys about faith and hard work. Faith and hard work, those things can't be substitute. That makes sense? Faith, can anything replace our faith?
I think the faith aspect of it was big. And he's been, you know, preaching that from the day he got there, from the day, you know, I first talked about coming here with him, to have a head coach that really continues to push that. And, you know, we went to church together as a team. And I think that's just rare. That doesn't happen quite often across the college football landscape.
This is our schedule for the morning tomorrow. Just so you know, 8:45 is chapel. Chapel is not mandatory, but you guys are all more than welcome to come, and it'll be right here at 8:45.
We have different guys on the staff that's Christians, maybe Muslim, even with our players, but we all have to have some type of faith somewhere. So Fran Brown, I won't say he pushes it, but that's something he's gonna always make a big part of this program. It's important to it. He draws people closer to God.
All right, cousin. Be safe. I'm doing my fault.
Coach Fran, he's been like a big brother, father figure, off the field also as much as he's been on the field.
Let's go, let's go. Should already been locked in, ready to go.
And you can just trust him. And he don't really say a lot, so when he talk, you know, like, it's real.
Hey, players, coaches, lock in on the sideline. Too many teeth over there. Get them to be focused. Big play, ball on the other 35. Go, youngin', go.
He's the guy that you want to follow behind, and he's the guy that you want to lead.
Are we gonna get a lot of flags? No. Now we gotta stay away from them flags, right? All the things that don't require talent, we have to get an A on that. It's important that we do that.
New Cuse head coach Fran Brown's made some big moves over the last week or so. One of those big moves was adding Elijah Robinson as defensive coordinator. Robinson was the co-DC for Texas A&M and the interim head coach for the final 2 games. Coach Fran Brown saying, quote, "We just got the best coordinator in the country."
Coach Fran called and he told me it was the plan, and man, my main focus right now is how can I help Syracuse and Fran Brown get this thing going so we can be successful. There's not many opportunities you get to work with people that you know and care about and trust.
You know, and I know like we got a different relationship than anybody else in college football.
When you talk about being dedicated, I remember we had an official visit going on at Temple. He left to go see his mother take her last breath.
Yeah, when she passed, I had to go to the hospital, and all her grandkids were there and everybody, and I had to pull the plug, so it was like a tough day for me. And first I was just talking to her, and then I grabbed her hand and I said, "Mom, I'm gonna keep us all together." And she kind of was like looking out one eye and looked at everybody, and she died in like 6 seconds.
And he returned back to work. And many people told him, "Hey, you can go home, get some time yourself." He said, "No, I got a job to do." That's real. And that's tough. And I watched him do that. I didn't know how he did. When I first moved here, you know, from the funeral, I kept his mother's obituary, and it's been in every office I had. Kind of remind me not just the passing of his mother, but remind me of how strong he was. All this time he didn't know until he saw me take it out of my box as I was unpacking.
When I first seen it, it almost made me cry. I walked out of his office. But then I knew like it motivated him to know like, okay, he went through this. That's tough. I know that pushes him.
You're listening to Syracuse football's spring game coverage on WADR with SU head coach Fran Brown. I'm Jake Klein. When you bring in freshmen and you keep some returners and you add transfers from all different schools and backgrounds, how do you turn that group into a team?
Oh, just by time. You gotta spend time. Trust equals time. Gotta spend time together and not just at practice.
Coach, the last month of spring practice behind you, what have you learned about your team?
I've learned that they're resilient, they like to work, and getting tougher. They're doing a great job academically and athletically. We just gotta continue to build on this.
That's head coach Fran Brown. Coach, thanks for the time.
Appreciate you. Be safe, boy.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, legendary Jim Brown played lacrosse here, and it's just so many famous athletes who came out of here who've had the opportunity to play. And, you know, and many of our sports need to support each other and show that kind of sportsmanship like Fran did today.
Come on, go hit him.
When the football team shows up at a lacrosse game, they know it, right? The lacrosse team, they understand. They see their peers, you know, invested in their success. And that just becomes contagious in a really, really good way and creates a spirit, and a spirit of one, and that's the Block S.
Franny, what's good? How you do? 4 tackles in the sack? Oh, that's what's up. Congrats. We had this lacrosse game. See it? Did you tell mommy about your TFL? I mean, about your sack? I know you was hyped, wasn't you? So where did you get your sack at? Like, what happened? What kind of play was it? Life is truly not about you once you have a son. It's like the way I look at it is like, I can't mess this name up. Because if I mess it up, then Fran Jr. naturally gotta have a messed up name. So, like when you got a junior, you gotta make sure that you live up to everything that's needed. Okay, so too detached when you get the blitz. Okay, so when you went and blitzed, they had no, what did you make it like you was covering number 2 still? Oh, okay, I got you. It was a big day for him. He was able to go earn a spot that day, you know, because he worked his butt off. He was able to go earn a spot. I'm just happy, like, man, that boy is, because of him, we stayed focused on everything that was needed to do. Franny, we about to head out. All right, buddy. So I'm really happy for you, man. I know it feels good. You had all that stuff.
Yeah, I was happy that y'all came out. So. Okay, I love you.
Love you too, boy.
Daddy!
Oh, give me a kiss, sweetie. I love you too. Oh, give me a hug.
Daddy.
I love you.
So we have this tradition, which we do before every game. He'll call me literally probably 2 minutes before he goes out.
We talk before she going to work, so it's just me going to work. You know what I'm saying? We always talk before we go to work.
Everywhere I go, my God, Coach Fran, unbelievable what he's doing. You know, I'm so excited. I got to get back for a game. He's totally transformed the narrative and the perception of this program, not only locally and regionally, but nationally in 5 months.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You don't play football to just be one of the teams in the conference. We're in this to win a championship, so we gotta dominate this summer. When you think you did enough, go back out and work harder. Work. Get up.
Syracuse got a good one. And they're going to run through a wall for him because he's going to run through the wall first.
How you doing?
Now listen, guys, like I told you earlier, I'm from Camden. Guys, I come from welfare, baby. I'm good. I don't gotta have that family first card no more. I'm here for life.
Go leaders.
When you have someone that's in a position that he's in that cares so much about a community like the city of Camden, it continues to build confidence and trust. You know, everything he's doing is helping Camden continue to raise the tides.
When people say, he's the coach of Syracuse, I say, yeah, you could do the same thing.
I don't think I've ever missed a call. I'm expecting it every time, so hopefully he'll continue as a head coach. He better, I'm gonna tell him. We're not gonna stop now. Hello? Hey. All right, good luck, have fun.
I love you.
Okay, all right, sit there.
Something's in my shoe.
Well, something's in your shoe?
What's your name?
Ivy Brown.
Ivy Brown?
Yeah.
Do you like football, Ivy?
This is my job. I just want to get my candy. This is all over here. I need to get some candy, Mom.
All right, you gonna get some candy?
Are you all done?